Something happened to me at our local grocery store the other day that quite embarrassed me in front of about 15 to 20 people. Let me explain. I had my basket of groceries and headed to the self-checkout lines. And there were two lines to choose from, and a wide aisle between them. There were people standing in line in the right lane and others waiting in the left lane. And there was a lady standing right in the middle. The lines were not straight, but you could tell people were choosing to go into the right side or the left. And some that couldn't make up their minds and stood in the middle. I slowly worked my way to the front of the line on the left side. Oh, the guy at the center checkout was done, and he began to walk away. So off I went, pushing my cart to the center register, and began to reach into my basket to scan my first item, when all of a sudden, the store employee in charge of the self-checkouts threw up her hands in the air and started yelling, "Why do we have two lines? Who's supposed to be next? There is only supposed to be one line." The lady who was standing in the middle claimed, "Yeah, I was supposed to be next, but he cut in front of me. He was at the back of the line." Well, I stopped what I was doing, and my face turned bright red as I said in a voice like a puppy dog who had just been scolded for pooing on the carpet, "I am so sorry. I had no idea there was only one waiting line. I assumed since there were two lines of checkouts that there were actually two lines." But I took my basket and I tucked my tail between my legs and headed all the way to the back of the line. Now, some people that were there in the back, they told me no, go ahead of them. But I was polite and I politely declined, explaining that I did not wish to be scolded again. No. I was sent to the back of the line, and the back of the line I shall stay. I eventually worked my way back to the checkout and scanned my groceries. I thought, okay, I must have been wrong, and instead of there being two lines, there was actually only one line leading to two checkout lines. So I obviously was in the wrong line, and I had no idea that there was only one line, one way, that would lead to the register. And instead of standing in the left lane, I should have been waiting in the middle. I think the store's self-checkout lady was just having a bad day and needed a break. But this made me think about our Christian walk of life. There are actually two ways we can live our lives, and each have an eternal destination. One will be good, and one will be torture and torment. Now, the Bible tells us that we must choose the right or the left, the easy way or the narrow way. And it tells us that we must not and cannot sit on the middle of the fence. We cannot be lukewarm. We are either all in or all out. We are either cold or we're hot. But there is no middle line. There is no being lukewarm. You are either in one line or the other. But you can't be in both or in the middle. You must choose right or left. If you try and stay in the middle, others will just pass you by, as I did with the lady who was standing in the middle. I just wonder how many Christians get just as emotional and upset about those around them who do not know Christ, those that are either standing in the wrong line. Do we get as emotional and throw our hands up in the air and yell out, "What are you doing? Why are you on the fence? You can't be lukewarm"? Or do we just quietly stand there and say nothing at all? Do we help those people who may not know Jesus Christ and are standing in the wrong line, knowing that if we do nothing, say nothing, that when the time comes, they will be lost in an eternity of despair? Do we guide them into the right direction, or do we let them run around aimlessly, standing in the middle, sitting on the fence, being lukewarm? Now, I'm not saying that we should go around yelling at people and embarrassing them or scolding them like some puppy dog. But what we should we should help them set the boundaries so that they can be guided into the correct lane of life. If only the grocery store employee would have had a waiting line on the floor with a sign that said, "Please form one line behind here," or even 2 lines on the floor going into each self-checkout lane. He would have saved all the confusion, kept me from being embarrassed, and would have solved the problem at the checkout line. Quietly and lovingly, Christians need to be that line on the floor that instructs others to please form one line here, the line that leads to a heavenly eternity.